Hello, hello, and welcome to the Explain It podcast. I am your host, Ingryd Hernandez. In today's podcast, we're doing a Q&A and a little bit about a little catch up after Squad Up Summit that happened. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks. It's crazy how quickly time flies. Anyways, a couple of housekeeping things. One is myself, Manny, and Noe are doing a monthly meetup now only in Spanish. And I know you're like, what is this white girl doing in Spanish? So I'm originally from Colombia, South America, and I speak Spanish, although I could speak it better. One of my goals this year is to be a better Spanish speaker. And my good friends Noe and Manny are also really great Spanish speakers. Actually, Manny better than the both of us, but still. And one of the things that we want to do is continue to give back to our Latino community here in Arizona. Eventually, we hope to be able to spread beyond Arizona. But first, we want to make sure that we're doing this well. And in order to do that is, narrow our focus before we start to expand our reach. So if you're somebody who is a Latino, you're looking for an opportunity to be able to learn more about real estate investing, and you want to also be a part of this very free community. It's a free community. You're more than welcome to join us face to face. We're meeting once a week, as I was mentioning. Ideally, you want to join our Facebook group where we can interact and speak with each other. You do have to abide by the rules, and you do have to communicate in Spanish. But our goal is, again, to start spreading more opportunities to folks who are very tangent. They're very tangent in our real estate investing. So it's interesting because a lot of them are actually business owners, and many do a lot of work within the construction side of things that we've met. And so it's been really cool. So the meetup that we had a month ago, we talked to a lot of folks about what our plan is, what our goal is, and how we want to better support our community, and in many regards, a lot of people's native tongue. So we do have some tickets still available. Last time it did sell out. So we have 1 day left. I think we have about 20 tickets left. And we actually have overcapacity. So if everybody shows up, some folks may have to stand up and watch. But anyway, if you join us on our Facebook page, the link is in the chat. You can also get to see, or you can also see where we've posted how to sign up for the fix and flip event that we're going to talk about tomorrow. And I've already gotten some people saying, fixing and flipping, why would you fix and flip right now? There's still deals to be done. People still need to move into houses. What it does mean on whether or not you're taking on a project is how scrutinizing you should be. I would say the majority of your time, if you're doing any fixing and flipping right now, should be spent underwriting and saying no. That's the reality. You're looking for those gems. I've had a couple of people actually reach out to me recently to help them with their cash deals. And one of them is a superb flip. So I'm looking to see how we either disposition that with him or even sell it to myself so that we can make a profit on it. But anyways, just throwing that out there. So if you're fixing and flipping, be very conservative with what your underwriting looks like, and make sure that you're stress testing it a little. So for example, the property that I'm helping with, it's in probate right now. So they are trying to identify who the executor, not identify, they know who the executor is, but make sure all the T's are crossed and the I's dotted as far as probate is concerned. And once that's aligned, and we're using a lawyer that I'm familiar with on the probate side, once that's aligned, then we will we're technically under contract, but we will now be in a place where we can close that contract and be able to sell it either as an assignment or a double close, or literally take it on. So Bill Fisher is asking, why is it not a good time to fix and flip in Arizona? Um, it's not that it's not a good time. I really don't like binary statements. So it's like if you're saying complete yes or complete no, I would say that's not the answer. The answer is why should you be more scrutinizing right now in Arizona? And the answer is because our market has shifted. Okay, so I'm going to date myself. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could see a lot of my grays. And Bill, let me know if you want to come on. I'd love to have you on here alongside me as you ask your questions because he's joining us from Alaska. I'm sure he's got nothing to do out there except look at the bears. No, I'm just kidding. The reality is that our market has normalized, and people are feeling this normalization as it's super correcting. I think there are a lot of correction elements, meaning, hey, we were selling properties at this, and now we're going to be selling at this. That is a part of normalizing, where there's a correction in how heated our market was. Like, it's unsustainable that your markets will grow in the double digits every year. So, sorry, somebody asked a question where I'm going to be there soon. Coterreo, I believe that's your name. It's not sustainable for you to be able to do fixing and flipping, or it's not sustainable for the economy to benefit from a super heated market. And if you're constantly moving into the double digits, which is what was happening in Arizona, like literally, I mean, I bought my property for 323. It now sells between 650 and 700,000. And that majority of that jump happened within 3 years, the majority of that jump. And so Bill, let me send you the link. Things are not sustainable when you do that. So let's see here. Here you go, Bill. It's the link is in the comments. On YouTube. I think you're on Facebook right now. Anyway, what's happening now is that we're correcting. Like, we had a super heated market, so things were really pricey, and now they're coming down a bit. And when I first started, again, back to being dated, back in 2013, I got my real estate license. Things would take 80, 90 days to close. I didn't know any better. Okay. I was like, oh, that's normal. That's my normal. As an agent, that's my normal. We put something in the market, you'd get, 10 to 12 walkthroughs. If you're getting 10 to 12 walkthroughs and you're not getting an offer, then that's a problem. It would mean that you are listed too high, and then you would do some price adjustments. So that is how I started in this business, and it was totally normal. And the price adjustments might be like $2,000 or $3,000 at a time, and then you would hang on, trying to get Bill the link. Bill, I send it to you on Facebook. Anyway, so I'm used to that. And people who came up in the market the last 5-6 years, they're like, oh no, I'm supposed to list it and I'm supposed to get an offer like 3 hours later or 2 days later at max. That's not normal. That's never been normal. So when I say normalizing, like, we're going back to when the market had already kind of corrected some from the recession. The recession, we were deep into short sales between 2008 to like 2012, at the tail end of 2013 when I started. And things started to shift, right? We started to see hedge funds coming into the market and buying. You started to see a lot of these bigger houses starting to buy. And I feel what we're experiencing now is a lot more aligned to a normal market. And honestly, as a fix and flipper, and maybe I have too much of an optimistic view, when you normalize prices, you can now predict the future, or at least get closer to the future on how much things should cost and what you should underwrite for. I like a nice boring market. Give me boring. Like, this whole super hot. I'm going to make an extra 30K. That was fun. I'm not going to lie. But it's just not sustainable, and it's not good for our economy in the long run. It creates a very unaffordable market. But hey, Bill.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. I didn't know you were Jewish.
No, I'm not. I'm just teasing you. I'm just
joking.
Okay. Shalom just means peace with you. Peace be with you.
Yes. I watched the show The Chosen, which is the story of Jesus Christ. And they're always saying shalom, shalom. And I'm like, it's like a double peace for you. So
that's exactly what that means.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, thank you for letting me on here, because texting was probably not going to work well. So I don't really know the Arizona market, but I am interested in it. I do have a flip in Arizona that I just put up for wrap today. Well, I put it up a while ago, but I just really advertised it today. Starting to get a lot of hits on it, but is this not a good wrap market then?
Well, I would say it's not as good as a wrap market as it used to be. So the wrap market was a lot better, but here's my point of view of what's happened. So when the market was good for wraps, 21 up to like the middle of 2022, we would be able to get anywhere from $50,000 to $80,000 from, people putting money in their mattress to come and get these deals. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, when you think about Arizona, so Arizona had a very affordable market. And when I say market, I'm going across industries. So not just real estate. I'm saying like affordable market in that I could go buy groceries. I could go get gas. I could go and get building materials. Like all of these things were more or less affordable when compared to a lot of our neighbors. And now things are so much more expensive that I feel we're not the affordable Arizona we used to be. Mm-hmm. Because we were really driven by a lot of this inflation, a lot of tariffs that happened in the last, 2-3 years. So unfortunately, these people who would have had, the $50,000 to $80,000 for these wrap opportunities don't have it anymore because affordability has become such a problem. They've had to actually dip into the money they've set aside in order to afford to live, to put food on the table, to gas up their vehicles, all of those things. So wraps still work, but they're just not working at the same levels we used to have them at. So I work a lot on wraps here in Arizona.
Okay.
And I've had speaking of Jesus, I had a come to Jesus moment. Hey, what you used to be able to do, you can't do anymore. So how do you still serve these families who need our help? And there's two sides of that coin. One is a seller who's now falling behind on payments, or is in an urgent situation, I'll call it, not maybe totally distressed, but they have a job move, or going through divorce, and yes, they can keep paying, but they really need somebody to come in there and take over those payments. Or like myself, I've had to sell a property up in Flagstaff on a wrap where the wrap wasn't much of a wrap. I think I'm making $150 a month. And that's a very small margin for such a highly priced property. I sold this property at $650,000. And so you're not making as much on these wraps. Okay. So we have to make it more affordable for people to enter them, which also means our margins go down.
Okay. So, let me ask you a different question. And this is kind of on the political end, and I don't want to get political, but I'm
going to tell you this. Everything is effing political. People who say I don't want to get political, I'm like, your life is political. So get political. Okay. Go for it.
Okay. So I almost bought a duplex in Florida, and it was everything was amazing on it. It was like each side was running out for $1,800. It was going to cash flow $1,500 a month.
Mhm,
Um, but we asked him, why have you had such a hard time selling?
mhm,
And the owner just straight up came and said, because of ice. So ice comes in and the neighborhood cleared out. And there are for rent signs on every single house up and down the street.
mhm.
And I'm wondering how much effect did that happen in Phoenix or in the Arizona area?
I love this question because it did have a lot of impact. I have, and I'll answer two different ways. I have a friend who, when it comes to the political spectrum, very conservative. Like, I have friends from all sides. I'm very
Mhm.
centrist, but he's very conservative and he runs a roofing company. And what he experienced in losing his crews,
Mhm.
like law abiding crews in terms of like criminality. Like many of them overstayed their visas or they were on here on a work visa and legally here, but they still got picked up by ICE and sent away. It's one of those like, how does that even make sense? Right. So, like, it doesn't make sense. I see somebody named Jesus. We were talking about Jesus. Jesus came into Jesus.
Je-
It's like going,
Jesus is here.
Jesus is here. He's in the backstage. We'll bring him up in a minute. I guess he has a Q&A. Maybe I'll keep you up here, Bill, if you have time.
Sure.
Hopefully you have time.
I've
Yeah.
time, yeah.
Oh, yes. Um, his I'll say political views. I wouldn't say political, but like his empathy grew, like this
Mhm.
Grinch's heart grew because all of a sudden he was being impacted. His business was being impacted by what felt an unfair process to his workers. For the record, people with I-10s, they still pay taxes. But guess what happens with those taxes and all the social security that goes into it? They never get to see it back. They don't get the fruits of the benefit of putting into our system, and it
Mhm.
makes up a huge part of the money collected are folks with I-10s. And a lot of these folks who do these, roofing and subcontracting work, they're actually putting into our economy and they absolutely will not get they don't qualify for food stamps, they don't qualify for section 8, they don't qualify for any of the federal programs that are
I
available.
didn't know that.
They don't. That's
Wow.
why I
Hmm.
feel like I feel like the bots, and I say the bots because I really don't I have a lot of like Republican friends, right? None of them feel this way that they're like a lot of them do not feel like they're being taken advantage of, especially if you're in Arizona. They know there's a lot of hardworking Latinos here. Um,
Hmm.
and I don't think they have do they want a safer border? Absolutely. So do I. I have children. Like I don't want to be known as a state that just has like complete open borders and people that we don't even get to screen are coming through. I don't think it's that. I think we're all on the same page about public safety. I think the part where things get a little discombobulated is where you have folks who are here, they're working, they're working their ass off, they're helping their families, across the borders, but they are also absolutely contributing to the stability of our Social Security and our taxes. So it's just interesting. But yes, Arizona absolutely was impacted by that. So again, my friend who's super, super conservative didn't realize how far that went and how unfair it impacted his business. I have another family member who is in Tucson and he's had two different houses just offered up to him. He's like, here's the keys. I'm going back to Mexico. Like, I don't want to be treated like, and these are people who are here with green cards and they are being treated unfairly because of a lot of what's teasing out this like meanness in our society. So, I mean, this is the reality. I think this is where we really know how people truly feel or whether or not they're going to not educate themselves and understand the negative impact that we're seeing as a result into our economy. Things were not affordable. Try running a business where you're a farmer in Yuma and you can't find people to pick your produce.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
we're feeling it in Alaska, even in the restaurant industry. So we can't find people to work in the restaurants. You can't find dishwashers. You can't find cooks. You can't find, and the reason is because a lot of those workers probably left because they were worried, and now everyone else is taking their jobs, and so those intermediate positions are just vacant everywhere, and it's really hard to find people in the restaurant industry too. So yeah, no, we're feeling it for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Let's bring up Jesus and see what questions he has. Oh,
Right.
yeah, his camera went off. So when your camera comes up, Jesus will bring you back up. Oh, maybe it's Jesus Figueroa. Hey, Jesus.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I
Good.
know that guy.
I know this guy too.
How's it going, man?
Good, and yourself?
Very good. What you been up to, brother?
So stuck in the W-2, but I'm still working my way around. So I'm not doing single families anymore, more into RV parks and multi-families. So I just figured that after watching Pace's videos and everything else, you just gotta find a bigger asset where it makes sense to come in and what's better.
Well, good for you, man.
Yeah, how about you? How's things going? I heard that you're trying to buy a property in Florida, actually.
I'm trying to buy 20 properties in Florida. I'm looking for 230 plexes and then 20 single family Section 8 homes.
Nice.
I
How did
like
you
that.
come up with that number? Did you reverse engineer into a goal?
Yes. So my goal was for this year, I believe it was somewhere around 25,000 in income, net income. And that's how I came up with it. It was, but my goal has been always to get into multifamily, and this year I'm going to stretch into that and really get into fractional and learn how all of that's done in capital raising and so on and so forth. So
I'm happy to help you on that.
I would
There's some
love for you to help me.
yeah, there's some things that are not as clear. There's some things around SEC regulation that are not as clear. And then another piece of advice that I wish I would have known is I would have gotten my own lawyer to review the setup of how to raise capital. So,
Oh, really?
mhm,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. The funny part is that, and I learned this through actually raising capital. If you call yourself a capital raiser and you're not part of the general partnership, so the GP, um, you are breaking SEC requirements.
Hmm.
Yeah, because in order for you to call yourself a capital raiser and not be a part of the general partnership, the GP as they call it, you have to be licensed. So you have to be working under a broker dealer in order to do that. So I'm seeing a lot of connectors out there who are doing it the wrong way, and it makes my stomach turn because with the world of AI and the way it is now, like it's so much easier to get caught doing things, and it's out of pure ignorance, and it's not like anybody trying to be malicious. I think it's really just not understanding all the rules.
How do we educate on that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So we have a podcast here called Explain It on Ingryd Hernandez's channel, where we talk about stuff like this. I also suggested to Pace that if myself and another guy named Ryan McDermott could
Mhm.
create a semesters that where we talk about capital raising, understanding the do's and don'ts, and how to protect yourself. Yeah.
That would be so cool. I would definitely appreciate that because I had no idea you're not allowed to call yourself a capital raiser.
Nope. And if you don't have a license, so if you don't have a license, or if you're not a part of the general partnership and that is your job as part of your partnership, and it can only be a part of your role, you actually have to have a very engaged role because you're only raising capital to close your deal, right? As a part of GP. Well, after
Right.
you close your deal, you have to have an active participation as a general partner in that business to continue. If you're only in the GP to only raise capital and then you're out, then that's also not right.
So this is why people are getting wedged.
Yes, a lot of reasons why people wedge themselves into deals, but you should also think about it from like a operator out, like your operating agreement. They should have a significant contribution after the raising of the capital. So it could likely just be investor relations. So their job is to make sure they're reporting back out to all of the folks who invested with you, like how things are going, reporting like and staying on top of whether they might be I don't know if you're familiar with RACI, where it's like R is for responsible, A is for accountable, C is for consultant, I is for information. Maybe they are responsible, so they have an R, but they're not accountable. So maybe you have a CFO. So they work with the CFO to get understanding of how the math is mathing so that they can properly communicate back out to folks. So I started getting a lot more into investor relations because I was raising capital for a fund. And then I actually had to walk away because of not being able to come to terms on the GP side of things. So, yeah.
Well, I would definitely love to talk to you further about that because it's, I realize, I was telling my wife this is because, we had a partner issue this year. I'm sure, I think I told you, I'm not sure, but like this is what I call my $1 million mistake. And somebody who I should have never been into business with. And, in any way, so she was saying to me, well, I just want to make sure that only you and I are partners from now on, and we don't partner with anybody else. And I said, babe, that's impossible.
Yeah.
You cannot not partner with people in this business because if you want to take down the goals that we don't have the capital to do that. So we're going to have to raise capital. We're going to have to partner. We're going to have to take on equity partners. We're going to have to, the whole thing. And this whole game, this community is about partnership in every single way.
Yeah. I think Jesus is saying, yeah, how do you partner? How does Bill and Jesus? Is that what you're thinking?
Pretty much. So the way how I met Bill, this was actually, he posted a vibe box that he had a while ago on the free Facebook group. So that's when I reached out to him, and then we just started building relationships as we went. But just as I know, when we're busy and we get caught up with everything, it's just like how do I go forward with this, But what I was missing too when I was just starting out was community, because the way the way how I heard about Sub 2 and everything else was because of Kevin Chow. So Kevin Chow came into we were
Also
in the
known
community.
as Kevin Cho.
Yeah, I was
Kevin
like,
Cho, yeah,
Chow.
Kevin Chow. Yeah, Kevin Cho. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up here. So yeah, Kevin Cho. So me and my buddy who's in Florida, you know him, Bill, Sebastian Odie.
Yeah.
Okay, so him and I, we were in this one wholesale group called Millions to Wholesale. I think that's the name of the community that we're in. So one day, me and my good friend, we were like lost about creative finance. We're like, what is this? Like, I was just like so like lost and confused. But then until my buddy told me, like, you should start watching Pace's video. I'm like, who is Pace? Who is this genius? So then I just started picking up like the videos and just trying to see how it works. How does creative finance work? And so now I have a better understanding how it works. But now if I go talk to an agent and try to like kind of like give them the insights how it benefits the seller, they're like, oh well, my broker doesn't allow that. I'm like, then why not switch with different brokers? Just like what Pace would say.
Yeah. I think we get stuck in our boxes where we're like, rather than say, how do we solve for it? We end up doing, like we get stuck in whatever that answer looks like.
Right. I've been wanting to meet you too, but I'm like, how can I connect with her? How can I do this? And I know you're in Arizona, correct?
Yes, I am in Arizona. Are you in Arizona?
No, I'm in Oregon actually. But I used to live in California actually years ago, but I moved out of California due to the economy out there.
Yeah.
So then so from here I've been going to the meetups here in Portland actually for the Sub 2 community.
Okay.
So that's how I just started picking up more people as when it comes to transactional lenders, TCs. And then when I met Pace in person, which was like, oh man, life changing, And I wasn't gonna go to the to the meetup because I had the what ifs and I had all these stuff going on.
Yeah.
And so then from there, I just told myself, I got to make this opportunity happen like soon, because I mean, it's true. You're not going to be content in your W-2.
No. And I was in my W-2 for a good 3 years before I ended up actually leaving. And not that I personally left, but there was layoffs, and so I was so much better positioned once the layoffs came because I had been doing real
Oh,
estate.
I think you muted.
Am I muted?
I can't hear you.
No? Oh no. Can anybody else hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Let's see. That's interesting. Well, I don't know. I'm seeing my little green.
Let me try refreshing the page really fast.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Okay. People can hear me. Yeah. Okay, cool. People are hearing me.
Oh.
They can hear you too.
Let me see.
Yeah. Yeah. All righty. Well, as Jesus tries to figure it out.
Yeah, I can't hear. Hold on. Give me a second.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Hey, Bill.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. I can hear you too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got somebody from the restaurant dialed me like crazy dial.
Oh, okay. Triple dial.
Yeah. If you don't dial at least.
Oh, we still can't hear Ingrid. It's a little bit off.
I can hear you, Ingrid. I think it's him.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna remove him for now because it's Jesus. Once you can hear stuff, let me know. Yeah, I believe that community makes the difference, and as they say, emulate the people who are doing it, right? So when I think about Pace is doing it. Like he partners up with people. I think what matters, just like anything, you're building a business at the end of the day, not just a partnership. Right. And what do you do in a business? You create SOPs, you create expectations, you expect performance. What does that look like? And you have to build it in prior to everybody signing up for the job, right? So, and there's a lot of books out there that will help you align with potential partners, right? So there's the book Traction that talks a lot about, aligning on values. There's like if you look into like Strength Finders and stuff like that, they also talk a lot about really doubling down on the characteristics that make you and why you should focus on your strengths. And if you can focus on your strengths, that will also attract your tribe. So, okay, Jesus can now hear me again. Okay. Very good. As long as you're parked, right?
Yeah, I'm parked.
Okay, thank God. All right.
Yeah, that is driving a Waymo.
I know.
No. Well, actually, because I went to go get a haircut and I got some lunch here, actually.
Yeah, right on. So now you guys are debating, Bill. You're debating how do you partner up with people, and you have the added stress, I would argue, the fact that you're long distance, right? So how do you make sure that you're partnering up with the right people? And I do think there's different philosophies, but at the end of the day, there needs to be like a process you follow, just like you would follow a process anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm actually moving closer to, so I've got all my properties for sale in Alaska right now. And so we're actually under contract under the house that I'm currently in right now, and then moving into contract in another one, and then my son is going to buy one of the others, and then we are headed to Florida. And so we can be boots on ground because this whole thing in Texas just, I mean, if I was there, it wouldn't be an issue. I would be totally all over because I have the 3 4-plexes that I have to dump, like literally dump, because of the situation I was put in by my partner, who is no longer my partner. And so now I'm just trying to liquidate those off. And then now I want to be closer to where the issues might be or where the properties are going to be, because if I'm there, I can handle most things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I think
Colin's here.
yeah, Colin wants to know how can he help in Texas? So you're buying in Florida, you're buying in Texas too?
I'm no longer buying in Texas.
Oh, sorry, Colin. I was gonna say, dang, you're choosing all the states with the high insurance and
But
tax.
he can help me sell my 3 4-plexes. It's an entry fee of literally $80,000 takes you to the finish line to get them all up and running and rented, but 40 grand buys it.
Got it. Okay. In Texas.
Yeah, and it's a portfolio deal. It's right outside of Fort Hood in Killeen.
Oh, Killeen. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And Killeen is a very heavy military property, right?
Yeah, one of the biggest military bases in the United States.
All right. Well, Colin's going to help you sell those.
Cool. Let's go, Colin.
Right. Let's go. There you go. See, reaching into the community, seeing how they can add value. That's great. All right, Jesus, what else you got for us?
So right now, I'm working with the buyer out here in Bend, Oregon. We're looking at a RV unit over here. It's a 54 unit. Right now, we're just missing some information. So I need the P&L from last year, and then the T12, and then what else we need from here, and then the deadline for the LOI as well.
Is that buyer's name Gene?
No.
Okay.
No.
And so are you buying Jesus, or are you trying to wholesale that?
So pretty much I'm just setting up appointments. Deal coordinator, if you want to put it that way.
Okay. Yeah. Or lead manager. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just setting up the appointments and just going from there.
Setting up appointments for who?
For Brett Flory. He's in the community. I don't know if you've met him or not.
Yep, I'm familiar with that name.
Yep, Brett, and then Brittany Fields.
Okay.
I think you might know her. She just joined the owners club actually not too long ago. We just had a conversation, and I know when she went up to Squat Up Summit, she was telling me that she got let go of her W-2. I'm like, what?
Wow.
I was surprised, and I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, things happen for a reason. But I just tell her that sometimes in a W-2, they're just gonna not really appreciate you for what you got. You just have to go with the flow until the time goes by.
Yeah.
And then I remember when I was on the phone with Bill a while ago, maybe I don't know how long it's been, but we've had a conversation where I was just at a point in my life, I just want to quit the W-2 where I was at previously. Yeah. So then when I quit my job, I just left, and then I just started calling agents.
Yeah.
But then, at some point, I felt like my pitch wasn't that great when I was just talking to agents.
Yeah.
So then I figured, I'm like, if I can't do any negotiation, which I'm not that great just yet, but at some point I'll learn, maybe from Bill, maybe from yourself, anyone that has a higher experience than I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I would like to learn as well. And just really go from there.
Here's what I want to tell people, because and it really has a lot to do with your personality and what you really can commit yourself with. Mm-hmm. You have 3 things you generally are contributing to making your business successful. You have skills, you have money, or you have time. And if you can only fulfill one of those things, you have to be very careful that you're prepared to make up for the other 2. So I generally, when somebody has a W-2 and they're coming into a new skill like sales, I don't necessarily like to advise to leave the W-2, because the W-2 can become your superpower. So when I had my W-2, and it was a high paying W-2, so it wasn't just easy to walk away from. My goal during that time was, how do I make up for such a high paying W-2? And the only way that I could see the time trade-off paying off more lucrative is to do fixing and flipping. So I did start with fixing and flipping. But as we've already spoken about, in the beginning of this podcast, is that fixing and flipping has become more difficult. So tomorrow during our Latino Sin Límites event, which is just Spanish-speaking people all together in face-to-face, part of that is knowing your numbers and knowing the market you're in. The market we're in right now, not easy for fixing and flipping. Can you still fix and flip? Absolutely. One of our partners, Manny, he just made 40 grand on his fix and flip, but that's because he knew his number, he knew his market, and acted accordingly. So it is a market that doesn't allow for beginners, to be frank. Like this is a market where you should be partnering up. So when people say, are you in a fix and flip market that's good right now? What makes you good is experience. And if you don't have a good experience partner helping you through what the market is going to put you through, then you should not be fixing and flipping. That's my opinion.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I
Cool.
agree.
Well, thanks so much for being on here, Jesus. I
Of
will let you
course.
finish your lunch and reach
Oh no,
out.
I'm done. I'm done with lunch already. I was
Oh,
just right here, just talking to my buddy who's in the community, as I
yeah.
mentioned, Sebastian Odie, who's part of the community as well. And then every time when my buddy would bring him up, I'm like, I know this guy. This guy's a legend. I still need to fly to Alaska to try the food.
Come on up. Restaurant's still open, brother.
I actually, when I went to the meetup over here in Bend, I met David Lisi. Is that his name?
Yep, from Alaska. Yeah.
From Alaska. Yeah, good guy right there. Good guy right there. Yeah, so I've been wanting to go to Alaska too, actually. Just go visit places I've never been to before. But right now I'm putting money away because I'm gonna go to Utah during the summer to move out there. I got approved already for a pad split, so which is good already. And
Okay.
then just go from there. Yeah. Just keep going.
You're investing into a pad split?
No, I'm gonna move into a pad split for now, just for short term until I get things going and moving afloat. Actually, so that's why on my days off on the W-2, it's either I'm cleaning houses, well Airbnbs, or I'm door dashing.
Awesome. You're a
Just
hustler. I love it.
yeah, I have to. Yeah, that's the only way you really get by. I mean, we have to start somewhere. I mean, you started from somewhere. Bill started from somewhere.
Absolutely.
Everyone has to start some. Even Pace. Pace
Yeah.
started from somewhere when he was just a contractor, as I did remember watching his podcast. And so when I was at the other W-2 before this one, I was listening to the Get Creative podcast a lot, and that's how I just started getting connected with people. But I know everyone here, they're all busy, which I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's okay. Tamisa, he's coming from Oregon where everything is expensive there too. So I think he's
Oh yeah, of course. Of
right
course.
on.
I mean, if California's expensive, the same thing too. Like I could deal with Utah too. I just have to figure out how to kind of like improve on doing other things better, because I mean it's getting rougher each day, but we just can't have that mindset where we're being stopped.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing until we get there.
Yeah.
So
totally. Well,
yeah,
thanks.
so I'm just coming. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm just committing myself into getting to going to other things, and then hopefully get into the community one day as well.
Awesome. Well, we're rooting for you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Good to see you, Jesus. You take care, buddy.
Good to see you. Take care.
All right.
Okay, Bill. So you are moving to Florida. This will help negate maybe jumping into a partnership too fast. My assumption is there then. So tell me, when will you be in Florida?
So we're supposed to be, I'm going to be homeless May 1st. So I got to figure something out here. I have, you know that I have a couple restaurants up here, but we have a couple booths at the Alaska State Fair, and the fair is over in September. So my hard and fast move is immediately following the fair. And then we'll be back up in Alaska every year for just a snowbird, and then to work the fair booths that we have up here. But so no matter what, by end of September we'll be there, but we could be there as early as May.
Very cool. Well, hopefully Colin will help you sell what you got in Texas, and see how maybe that'll help with the transition. Is my assumption. Yes.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Have you put it on creative listing?
On creative? No, I haven't put it on creative listing.
Yeah, guys. Okay, so
Why have I not put it on creative listing?
I don't know, especially since everybody's because you said they're fourplexes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if they're fourplexes, you should be able to put it on there. Because they're those for people out there, you can still get FHA loans on fourplexes. Especially yeah, because it's only 4 units, so it can still be considered a residential property. So they're really great for house hacking. When you're buying fourplexes, you can live in one, and then the other 3 can literally pay for you living there. Um, and so, if you guys are looking for a good lender, I sleep with a really great lender.
Whoa now.
What? He's my husband.
Okay. So what does he lend on, and where?
He does traditional mortgages, and then he also does investor mortgages. So if you go to Fund Me Nationwide, we're working on a landing page for him right now. But Fund Me Nationwide is where you can submit like what type of deal you're trying to do. So they could do construction, and I say they because he works on a team. The guy who's the lead to his team has been doing like mortgages for over 15 years and is in sub 2 as well. So if you go to Fund Me Nationwide, you can submit what kind of deal you're looking to get completely financed, and then after that, it'll ask you to book a time with them. So,
What's his name?
My husband is Ingryd Hernandez, and then his team lead is Jeremy Demers. Yeah.
I'm just writing it down.
Oh, okay. Like a good lead generator. Yeah. So I would also think about marketing your fourplexes to folks around town and reminding them that they can house hack out of them if the numbers make sense. Because then if they run an FHA loan, their down payment is only 3.5%. So let's say your fourplex, what would your fourplex run on like on the market for sale?
For about $420 each.
Okay. So literally what, less than $15,000 to buy these?
Yeah.
And then if they say, hey, instead of selling it to me for 420, sell it to me for 445 or something like that. That way you can cover the closing costs. Now you're in a fourplex for, around $15,000.
Man, I knew I came on this for some reason today. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, my pleasure. And by the way, if I know it's a military town, Killeen is military town, a VA, a active military, they can get in there without any down payment. And again, similar strategy where you would
have to raise the price and costs. Concessions. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah.
So
I don't know why I didn't think, because I'm VA. Yeah. I mean, I'm a veteran, so I don't know why I didn't think about that.
Well, thank you for your service. Maybe you just got knocked in the head a little too hard.
Probably.
Yeah. And how's the so John Young there, it's in Killeen, Texas. How's the gummy business going?
It's actually going, we're getting ready to make a shift. So my son, who was running most of it, he moved. And so now it's left on all my wife and I on our shoulders. So we're probably going to be moving the operations with us and then hiring someone to manufacture for us. But we're getting ready to start something called Brain Candy. And it's going to have like tons and tons of supplements and vitamins that are good for just neurological everything, thinking power, basically.
Gosh, can you so like maybe what is that called?
Ashwagandha, the lion's mane, ginkgo biloba, beetroot extract, CoQ10, a lot of stuff good for the heart, stuff good for the brain. And yeah, I did this deep dive search on chat for probably about 3 days and went through all of the supplements that were, number one, affordable, but number two, that actually did something for you. And these are all, I have an entire list of what they are, but so it's going to be called Brain Candy. It's going to have a shot of caffeine, just like the Zippy Bears do. But a lot of good stuff for you.
What about creatine?
Creatine for sure. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
awesome.
like number one. Yeah.
Well, let me know when I can have an affiliate link because I'm all about it. Will they be organic?
They won't be organic, but there's no red dyes or anything like that. We use beetroot extract for the dye, and
Okay.
plus it's good for you anyway for
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Okay. Well, they still seem very attractive. I would love so. One of the things that myself and Laura Burbrow are trying to deep dive a little bit more is doing more wellness segments. So we're thinking about setting up a podcast separate from this podcast where it's
Mhm.
way more wellness centric. We're going to call it the Wellness Diaries. And part of that is us trying stuff and then reporting how did we feel, like, and like reporting progress, because a lot of things don't just happen at a snap. I mean, I'm 44, so I've put my body through a lot, and so why would I expect my body to change overnight when it took 44 years to get to where I'm at, right?
Right.
So, I don't know if you know this, but like we have these PEMF machines that we're also selling, and the PEMF machines have completely changed my life. So I wasn't able to sleep on the side of my body for the whole night. Like I could do it, but I could only do it. And like I would wake up 2, 3 hours later and I needed to move to my back because I would have so much hip pain.
Same.
Then last summer, I also hurt my ankle where I think it caused sciatica pain as a result. So I had a different hip pain with my ankle. I went on this PEMF machine one day, and the next night I was salsa dancing, where I haven't been able to do that in like 7 months.
My hip is out right now.
Ah.
And I do have sciatica issues all the way down to my ankle.
The second session, my sciatica pain went away.
All right. What is this thing called? EPMF?
PEMF. Even
PEMF.
Shaquille O'Neal, he did a podcast about this 2 years ago. Now, he's using a very primitive, not very user-friendly PEMF tool. They've now, even though what we sell is medical grade, and I'll text you what that looks like, Bill, but the medical grade ones that we have, they're way more user-friendly. And I even have my daughter who plays soccer on them too, where like I want her sitting there. Like, anyways, like back to Shaq, and I'll send you that video too. He used to have like a shoulder injury, or he'd hurt himself like after a game. He said he'd go through PEMF therapy. He's like, next day he was ready to go. Like this thing can be super life-changing. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It takes inflammation out of your body. The goal is take inflammation out of your body. If you don't have inflammation, then what does your body do naturally? It knows how to repair itself. Now, what I love about your supplements is if it knows how to repair itself, it still needs the building blocks to be able to repair itself. So if it's lacking the supplements, the minerals, the magnesium, the calcium, the vitamin D, the K stuff, whatever, then it'll have a harder time repairing itself. So you still need to supplement. It's not like this whole, like it's a magic tool. You still need those things so that your body can actually build it back up. So yeah.
It's true. Cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited for you, Bill. You have so much going on. By the way, I appreciate you coming on. I love having these Q&As, and it's funny because a few times I've done these Q&As, I end up with my friends coming on here and talking about what they got going on and how we might be able to help. So you're still
I really appreciate it.
You're still doing the bird dog Zooms, right? Yep.
Tuesdays, 9 a.m. Yep.
And are those public for anybody to be able to get on them?
Unfortunately, sub 2 only. I've been trying to get Gator in there. I even talked to Pace, and he said he can't, and it's going to have to be sub 2 only for a while. But he may allow. I think he said once a month that he may allow Gators to come over. And I'm thinking to myself, like, it's the missing link, right?
Yes, in many regards, it is. I have a pro and con with it. I'll pause that for a moment. Yes, Mr. John, PEMF machines, I do sell them. DM me on Instagram, and then I can send you the link so that you can kind of see what it works and understand like the science behind it. So with bird dogs, what I struggle with is that some of them, without having the know-how, so I love that you're actually spending time with them, they're also disrupting the relationships that we're trying to create, because some of them go after it without some of the professionalism that they should have, or literally some of the ethics behind it too. Like, hey, a lot of them purport to be buyers without actually being the buyer. And so it creates friction in those relationships. Or they're just scraping the websites. Like, okay, I went to Crexy, I copied, and then I paste. And it's like, I need.
See, that's what I'm eliminating.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I think
that's exactly
what offering makes a lot of sense, because folks hear bird dogs and they're just going after it and not being thoughtful or professional about what they're doing.
And so what I'm doing is I'm letting them know that I am not interested in you copy and pasting links and putting them in my mailbox, because I will not open them. I don't have time for them.
Yeah.
What I am interested in doing is I want to bring you in orbit, and I want to teach you how to underwrite deals the way that I would. I want to teach you how to go and find the leads the way that I would, underwrite them, and then bring them to me that fit my buy box only. And if they don't check all the boxes, you cannot send it to me. So it's that's the way that I'm setting it up for myself. And I wish every other Owners Club member would do the same thing. And the reason is because we don't need 10,000 people bringing us addresses and links. We need people bringing us deals that are actually, or possibilities of deals. And so when someone underwrites the deal and they know exactly how it's supposed to cash flow, they know exactly what I'm looking for, and it fits my buy box, there's probably an 80% chance that I'm going to buy that deal.
Yeah.
And versus just throwing junk at the wall.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I love
you should come on.
I would love to come on. I think where I was struggling was spending some time with myself. I was like grinding. And it's like, I need a moment to catch up with my thoughts to say, what do I want to clearly articulate? And at the time, I think when I was supposed to come on, I was debating very whether or not, it's funny, it was a partnership thing where I would move forward with a group or not to do RV and mobile home parks. And I just could not get behind it, knowing how, not that they weren't wonderful people. They were very wonderful people. It's just, there was too many chefs in the kitchen. Yeah. And, I know my limits. I know my leadership style. And it already felt like there was a couple of us that were very similar. And I don't want to create friction where it's not necessary, knowing that that person has the same capabilities that I do, and I would be a redundancy. Like, I would be a better value being in another team where I'm complementing other people versus like having redundant in the team. And I feel like I'm humble enough to know when I have to step away. So that was my situation at the time I was supposed to come on to your Zoom. It's like, I needed to thoughtfully do that and not just like exit without any, going back to professionalism with saying, hey, this isn't right for me right now. So,
well, here's the way I like to present it to Owners Club members is imagine you're sitting in your boardroom, right? And you're at the board table and there's a bunch of empty seats and you're the CEO or CFO or whatever you are. And then you go around the table and you look at name tags on the empty seats. They might be transaction coordinators. They may be operators. It may be deal acquisition. It may be private money lenders. It might be capital raisers, whatever it is. And you got to look at all those empty seats and go, where is my pain right now? And what do I need to be looking for? Because there's every week I have like 120 to 160 bird dogs who come on every single week. And they're of all areas, that people who want to be operators, they want to be integrators, people who want to push paperwork.
Yeah.
And they're hungry to do those things because that's the background they come from and those are their strengths. So it's not, you're not just looking for somebody who may cause friction in the deal and be calling sellers, but you're filling all the seats in your business, and those are the things usually that are keeping you from scaling. Because the reason why you can't scale is because you're the one wearing all the hats and you're the bottleneck in your business, usually. Not you specifically, but the average entrepreneur.
No,
We
you
want
can
to
use
wear
it.
all the hats.
Go ahead and you me. I'm fine. Well, and for me, it's like, my question was slightly different in another part of another business I'm running, is like, do I want to scale it? And what does that look like if I do or if I don't? So I have a small wholesale creative team here in Arizona. We primarily focus on creative, although we'll also do cash deals when they make sense. And my thought around that group has always been, how do I keep it lean? Because again, back to the original conversation we were having, I know that affordability is such a problem. I don't want to overpromise production when we're seeing such a stretch in the market for the buyers we're looking for. They're just harder to find. Are they out there? Absolutely. So I think once we have a really strong buyers list, that then I may want to scale, but first it's being thoughtful to go get that demand before I focus on scaling. But
Sure.
yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Well, Bill, this has been amazing. How do people get a hold of you? And
Bill Fisher AK is my Instagram and Facebook handle.
Bill Fisher AK.
Yep. Oh, Bill Fisher, BILLFISCHER. So there is a C in there.
Yes, I love it. Very good. Well, Bill, thank you so much for jumping on here. This was awesome. I appreciate you. And for all of you out there, we are here every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Arizona time. Please make sure you're liking and subscribing. I enjoy having good friends like Bill. I think what we'll have to do next is we'll have to schedule you out so that maybe I will have done the Zoom by that time, and we can have a do's and don'ts of bird dogging, and then helping people help themselves if that's where they need to first start in real estate. What do you think about that?
I would absolutely love that. And thank you for having me on today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on and being a fan. That warms my heart.
I've always been a fan of you, Ingrid. Always.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, we will catch you next week, Wednesday, 1 p.m., and see you then.